Hello, welcome to Zephyr's World. My name is Sephra, and this is my world. And today's message from the universe for positive thoughts and actions comes not from the tarot deck, but from dog walking. Some of you know that I have a side hustle of dog walking because I love dogs, but I don't want to have the responsibility of having a dog right now because I'm living a type of life where if I get a job being a background performer, I want to be able to take up and go, or if I want to go to Wonderland for the day, I want to just take off and go, not have to worry about things like dog sitters. Or if I stay out partying late at night, I don't want to have to run back for the dog. I have had dogs in my life and I know what huge responsibilities they are, just like children. So my children are gone, my dogs are gone, my cats are gone. So I take care of other people's dogs and cats. So I was walking this husky mix this morning, and he's a lovely dog. I walk him about once a week, sometimes more, sometimes less. And this weekend, I walked him this morning. And so this dog, he's a very pleasant personality, just like all the dogs I have as clients, actually. And much like any dog, including all the dogs I have as clients, because they're all shelter dogs pretty much. They can be somewhat unpredictable. Any dog is unpredictable. So when you're walking the dogs, when I'm walking anyone's dog, I try not to go around other dogs. So I'll actually go out of the way not to encounter another dog because I don't know what the dog's going to do. And, I'm walking a dog for half an hour. I don't want to deal with bites and wounds and gashes and going to the vet and all this crap just because I let a dog touch a nose and then one or the other went nuts and they get a fight, right? So I'm super hyper vigilant about that sort of thing. So I walk this husky down on a boardwalk where actually I used to live in that part of town before they even built the boardwalk. So now there's this boardwalk. It's great. It's beautiful, but it's crazy now. It's crazy. And in fact, I don't like going there much anymore. And even this morning, early in the morning, it was packed. So you have bicycles going 100 miles an hour, you have strollers, you have kids on bikes, you have little toddlers toddling around. You have people walking millions of dogs because there's like a million apartment buildings and condos. So everybody's got dogs, or all walking them, and there's various paths. So, I saw this one dog and it looked like a Saint Bernard or maybe what do you call those Pyrenees, the Pyrenees mountain dogs, those markings and that size, huge dog. And the husky I was walking, he's a big guy too. He's not a full husky, he's a mix. So he's kind of lean and like I said, most of the time he's just a happy dude walking along, minding his business, staring at the lake and the ducks and all that crap. But now and again, a dog will set him off. Might be a toy dog, might be a huge dog. I don't know. So I saw this dog and the dog saw us, and so the dog lay down because obviously it wants to hang out with my dog. But it's like, I don't know these dogs and they're huge. So I went back and I went back around another path, hoping the owner would get the picture and move his dog, and we could do the do-si-do, which is what many, many owners do along the path. We'll walk facing each other, then one of us might just take a side path so the dogs don't encounter each other. But this man didn't move his dog. It's probably like 300 pounds. You can't move nothing when those things want to just sit. So the dog walked, so I went around and then I was gonna have to pass the dog again anyways because if the guy had moved when I moved, the incident would have been done. They would have been on the way. I would have been, we would have been, because we were walking opposite ways, but he did not. And so I was hoping he was going to get that dog moving. But anyway, so eventually it came to a point where his dog's like lying down, still, wanting to play or suss things up or whatever with my dog. And my dog's doing the, who are you stare at him. And I had my dog reeled in super, super tight and short leash, as I always do when I pass a dog, because I want total control over my dog. I've had dogs, I've done a lot of dog training, I know what to do. So then this man, this entitled bicycle person, decides he's going to ride his bike really slow between these two dogs. So while the dogs are kind of having a face off, this guy rides his bike between them kind of slow, even though there's tons and tons of room to go around either side, and he wouldn't have had to go off the pavement, or he could have, if it was me and I saw a friggin' husky and a Pyrenees having a face off, I would I would get off my bike and walk it around them and be like, I don't know what's happening with these dogs. But no, Mr. Smarty Pants drives really, really slow. Most of the bikes they whiz by and you think you're gonna die because they're going so fast. But this guy, he's on his leisurely little bike for his morning stroll, which is fine. Fine, he's totally entitled. We're all entitled to the boardwalk. Absolutely, that's what it's for. But you have to use common sense. So he goes through the dogs, startling both of them. So they're both like, and then my dog starts barking because huskies always have something to say. And my dog barks at, like, he usually barks when he's happy, when he's sad, when he wants something. Like he talks, but he doesn't do the husky. He just barks really loud, and it can hurt your ears. And it's probably annoying if you actually live with him, but I don't. So, and maybe he only barks for me because he's happy to see me, and he's like bark, bark, bark. Anyway, so my dog, startled, and he starts going for the bike, but I have him really tight, so he's not going anywhere. And but he's barking, and the other dog like stood up, and you could see how huge that dog is, but he wasn't, like, he was a gentle giant as those dogs usually are. And then the guy actually stops in the middle of these dogs that don't know what they're doing and starts yelling at me because I'm the woman, doesn't yell at the man, yells at me, "What are you doing?" And I'm like looking at him. I'm like, "Why are you driving between two dogs?" Like, and then he got back on his bike and huffed off. But I'm like, but it gave me pause to think about actions and choices we make. You know, how we perceive events, deal with obstacles, or don't deal with obstacles. So, you could be anyone in this scenario. You could be the guy with the dog lying on the ground who's friendly and wants to play, and he didn't want to move his dog because, he wasn't aware of what was happening and that I was trying to avoid his dog. He wasn't cluing into any of that, and just sat there with his dog, letting his dog just lie there on the path with bicycles and kids shooting by because the dog kept watching my dog go around, but the owner was not paying attention, so he didn't notice that. And then until it was too late. And then there was me trying to avoid a confrontation, trying to avoid a situation by taking my dog around an alternative route, yet I still ended up at the same confrontation spot, which may or may not have been a confrontation because we don't know, because I just wanted to avoid it completely so I wouldn't have to deal with it. Then you have the dude who drives his bike right in between two dogs that may be about to have a brutal dog fight, and they are big dogs. Yet he doesn't care because, as far as he's concerned, he's riding his bike on a bike path. Well, it's a path for everyone. It's not a designated bike path. It's a path for everyone. So he thinks he's in the right, driving between two dogs, and he's going to show us that, we're not dealing with our dogs properly when he stops and starts yelling at someone who has a dog that's lunging and barking at him. So, who are you in this scenario when it comes to your life? And also, too, people should realize, if you don't know a lot about dogs, the dogs were startled by the bike coming through. I was startled. I was like, "Whoa, what's happening?" And therefore, if the humans are startled, the dogs will be startled. Or if the dogs are startled, dogs will instinctively go into fight or flight, right? So the dogs were already on edge because they were checking each other out. And then when the guy startled them, then my dog was protecting me because he's like, "What's this new threat? What's happening to my human?" And even though I'm not the dog's regular owner, I've seen this dog protect me before, and other people have pointed it out. I've run into friends walking dogs on the boardwalk and stuff, and they said, "No, that dog really likes you, and he's protecting you when he does that." And so I'm like, "Cool beans, this dog likes me." But I've seen it with other dogs I walk too, that they are protecting me. When they're checking out things or they get startled, their first thing is they go in front of me and then get, like, what's happening and bark, or what, because that's what dogs do, they bark. And there was no way that dog would have ever attacked that man on a bike because I'm very strong. That's why I'm a dog walker for big dogs. Because I have another dog I walk that's like that thing's always shooting off after squirrels and stuff. I'm getting biceps, I tell you. But yeah, so it's food for thought. Like, who are you in a scenario such as that? And what's the point? So the guy riding his bike through two dogs, just trying to have a nice little bike ride by the lake, looking at the boats and shit. He just wants to have a pleasant day and probably not aware of dog culture. So driving between two huge dogs that are having a standoff, he's not connecting the dots. And then when he stops, while these dogs are startled and upset, to yell at one of the people, which other people, that dog may have gone for him and badly, depending on the dog. Now, neither one of these dogs are vicious dogs, so they were just startled and just mouthing off. They weren't gonna attack anyone. They're just like, what's happening? You know? But then when you stop and yell at someone holding a dog that's yelling at you, you that's not smart. You if a dog is barking at you, keep on going, man. Like, especially if you're on a bike, just get the hell out. The dog's on a leash, you're on a bike, go. Don't stop and yell at the owner because you're not solving anything. So are you barking at your problems? Are you barking at danger? Are you getting all worked up over nothing as these dogs often do? It's like, ah, there's a squirrel, but it's the joy of their day. And so people seeing that may think this dog is vicious or nuts or an attack creature, but it's not. It's just playing, it's just talking, it's just, like I said, these dogs were startled because they were trying to check each other out. And then the humans, like I said, the other owner was kind of oblivious. He was about my age and just out to lunch, just trying to have a nice day. And he's just like, oh, this dog, he won't get up. I'm like, yeah, because he wants to play with my dog. So my dog's checking you out. And then Bicycle Man comes by and yells at us both. So he yells at all four of us because we dared to have dogs on the boardwalk where he needs to ride his bike and not be attacked by dogs. So yeah, it was an interesting scenario, and there's no right or wrong. It's just be aware of who you are and what you're doing. What's your motivation? What do you want? Like for me, I just wanted to walk this dog and go feed him and get on with my day. I didn't want confrontations with other dogs. I don't want confrontations with bikes. Usually, I don't even walk on the path. I walk very much to the side because I know those bikes don't care. A lot of people on bikes these days, especially by the lake there, they go really, really fast. And they think dinging their bell at you is helpful, but so many people wear headphones or the babies are screaming or we don't hear your dingy bells. People are deaf, like there's blind people. It's like the Indy walking down the track of the Indy 500 with some of those bikes sometimes, and so you got to be alert and aware. Okay, so think about that. Who are you? Who are you? What do you want? What's your goal? What's your motivation? And do you really need to yell at people when animals are just acting like animals and humans are animals too? And yeah, so just try and figure out. Yeah, it's all about motivation. What do you want? What do you need? Where are you going? What's your path? What are your choices? Okay, so it's food for thought for the day. Okay, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow.